Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had an unpleasant talk where basically Night Eye gathered a bunch of heroes to talk about taking on Overhaul and the Shie Hasaikai. And we basically learned that the bullets that are possible, well, they're used to kind of disable quirks, are basically being manufactured out of the body of Eri, which has really done a number on Mirio and Deku, as the two of them are now feeling incredible guilt for not being able to rescue her. So yeah, and that was pretty much that. That took up the entire episode, and it was really, really great. So yeah. It'll be interesting to see where we are going from here. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of My Hero Academia, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link. That will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it just like a normal reaction, and when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So we might as well get right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. Alrighty, that is episode 7. Man, I said like, oh man, we're probably gonna gear up for a confrontation, an end of this arc, because these seasons generally go for, splitting up into 2 arcs per season. But I mean, that said, we still have like 5 episodes left of this arc, maybe. So I don't know. I mean, we're kind of just going in though. So go, Let's just go. Alrighty. Good episode. Good solid start to this. What feels like a battle we're about to have, So, I'm curious about these 8 bullets of the Shie Hasaikai. I'm also curious how the League of Villains is going to play into this. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. But yeah. So, to go over the notes, the first thing I wrote down is quiet. They did have to keep quiet about what was going on in their work studies, which is interesting because it's like, it's interesting because you would honestly think that they would keep quiet in general, like even if they weren't in this huge like plot to take on the Hasaikai, that they would actually have to be quiet, because I do remember at the end of season 3 when they were talking about like, when Midoriya was like, I don't know what work studies are, and Ida was like, we cannot tell you until you're back, basically, until you're back in class. So it's just interesting. And yeah, even though this is hitting Mirio and Deku the most because of Eri, it is also still hitting Uraraka, Sue, and Kirishima. So yeah, which I like that they are involved with that, because mainly I guess because I don't want to say like they're not always involved, but like they're not the first people you would go to. It's like you would honestly think like, okay, we want some of the other students to be involved in this, not just Midoriya. So it's like, okay, well, you would think that you would go for Ida and Todoroki or Bakugo, but obviously Todoroki and Bakugo don't have their provisional licenses, and you're just not choosing Ida. So it's just an interesting choice, It's an interesting choice for, like, despite the fact that, yes, they are sort of more main characters. Like, if this was Aoyama, then that would be really weird. It's like, really? You chose Aoyama to, like, the writers chose these characters to be in. But I like that. It's a good selection, and obviously, yes, we have had a lot of Uraraka, obviously Asui, especially in the attack on the USJ, and then Kirishima's a bit newer. Even though we've had moments with him. He is it's nice that he is now at some of the forefront of this, so I like that. But yeah, and then I wrote down Overflow, which I did like that with Todoroki and Ida immediately recognizing that something is wrong with Midoriya, and they're there to help him because he has been there for the two of them, you know? He was there for Todoroki during the sports festival, and he was there for Ida with Stain, and obviously Todoroki was there for Stain, and then Ida was there for them going after Bakugo, all that stuff. It's like they have, the three of them are always there for each other. So I did like that, and that's such a good moment. It's not just them saying it's like, oh, you've been sort of edgy and depressed since you started your work study, but I do like that. Like, this may be like some of the most impactful tears Midoriya has ever shed, because that's the thing. It's like that's the thing is that obviously Midoriya cries a lot. I mean, it's been going down recently, but especially earlier on, he cried so much. But now, like, when he actually started to cry there, it's like, oh shit, this is so hitting him. Like, that just shows you how much this has made an impact on him, that he starts to break down a little bit and then he catches himself, It's like, that was just so genuine, I just love that. So yeah, let's see. We had everyone going to find where Eri was, and they did end up finding. It's like, oh, it's just at the main headquarters, but that's okay. We got a bit of Lock's quirk, which it does seem to be just the stasis from Breath of the Wild, which is interesting. So he can like freeze an object, kind of just freeze an object in time, then he jumps on it, goes down, and then he unfreezes it, and it keeps going, and then he catches it. Very interesting power. I like that. He's still kind of a jackass, though. Like, even saying it's like, oh, who's this guy trying to tell us our jobs? And it's like, would you shut the fuck up? Like, this guy complains about everything, is just so annoying. Anyway, well, I like that. I like that how they found where Eri was by I guess the nanny, basically the caretaker, having to buy a fucking, what is it? So it was Glitter Squad, but then it's like, oh well, the show now is like Go Glitter Squad 10 or something. Like it was something like stupid, and I did like that. It's like, okay, yeah, this grown ass man who doesn't know, who is saying basically he doesn't know a thing about the shows that little girls like, but he's trying to get this toy, So I thought that was funny. Like, yeah, that's how Night Eye ended up finding it. And not only that, but the fact that he was like, here, let me help you with the glitter stuff. Don't worry, I'll help. And that's how he got the lock, That's how he got his foresight to work to make sure that it was all good. So I did like that. That was very, very clever in finding Eri. We had learn from your mistakes. That was a really good speech for Night Eye about Mirio. It's like, yes, Mirio, mistakes like this can happen, but you need to learn from this. So I did like that. And I imagine, he doesn't, obviously he knows Mirio a lot more than, and a lot better than Midoriya, but honestly Midoriya is going through the same thing. So, but I like that speech, that little speech he has about it. It's like, yes, the past can hurt, but from the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. A little bit of Lion King for you. A little bit of a Rafiki reference. Anyway, so yeah, that was really good. I like that. And this time for sure, they are going to get it. I'm very curious how this is going to play out. Normally we do have Midoriya taking on the a big boss, whether it's Stain or I guess Stain or not Overhaul, Muscular. That was it. So normally we have that, or if Midoriya is not fighting the big boss, it's All Might, where All Might fought Nomu and All Might fought All for One, but we don't have All Might in this just whatsoever. So I'm very curious how this is going to go down. It's like, is it going to be Midoriya versus Overhaul, or is it going to be Midoriya and Mirio against Overhaul. I don't know. Assuming that they are going to catch him and then have to face him. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then I wrote down, go! Go! Let's all go. They are going. I do like that. It's like, okay, here's a bunch of heroes and the police is here. You know, it does remind me a bit of Kamino Ward with, or even just attacking the bar as well during that. And just having all the police there is actually really, really cool. So I like that. I don't know why. I like that. It's like, yeah, they do need to, you know, they do have a role to play. Even if, yeah, they are kind of backup to the heroes, they are needed there. So I like that. We got Ryukyu's power. It's like, hey, you know, she is the dragon hero. Why? She turns into a dragon. Hell yeah! Like, that's so cool. That is so cool that my voice cracked there. Like, I like that. So that was really cool, seeing her powers. And not only is she going, not only is she taking on the big guy, but she will be backed up by Hado, Uraraka, and Sue. Yes, I'm getting those names. I'm getting all the names. I pride myself on knowing every name in this show, and I'm pretty good about it, I feel like. So yeah, I mean, maybe that shouldn't be something I pride myself on, knowing characters' names, but there's a lot of characters in this show, and sometimes they get a little complicated, you know? And then, last thing I wrote down is Eri. They're all headed for Eri, but Overhaul is about to take Eri and run, basically. So we'll have to see how that goes. We also did get a moment with what seemed to be Overhaul's father, which is interesting. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you really do wonder about that guy. It's like, okay, what's the story here? But we didn't get enough to really infer anything, I guess. So, yeah, that was basically it. Great episode. I'm excited to get into, I guess, the raid of the Shie Hassaikai headquarters. So, yeah, I'm so ready for this. This is going to be amazing. That is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I think my camera's out of focus, that's okay. If you want to watch more of my My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.